Do you ever wonder what keeps your body moving? Is it the extra shot of caffeine or that donut? Well, I know that one of the things is hemoglobin! So what is hemoglobin and what does it do? To answer this, we took a field trip.
Today we came to the Carpenter's Brook Fish Hatchery to get some information on hemoglobin in fish.
But could you also explain how it circulates throughout the entire body?
Well, you know that blood circulates through the body,
Yes.
okay, through capillary system. When it reaches the gills, okay, which are very thin membrane, have a lot of membrane, you get oxygen being taken on and carbon dioxide being given off into the water. Okay. The oxygenated blood then goes throughout the body, takes that oxygen to the cells. Hemoglobin is a chelated metalloporphyrin, so it has iron in the center and carbon on the outer rings and the hemes. Okay, and the iron actually globs a hold of the oxygen and carries it and delivers it to the cells, and it picks up carbon dioxide and brings it back.
Okay, so to illustrate the importance of hemoglobin in the human body, we're going to conduct an experiment using this candle. Now, your body uses combustion reaction to create energy. In the same way, this candle uses a combustion reaction to create energy. Now, if your body is unable to get oxygen because hemoglobin is no longer available, alright, what would happen would be the same as if the oxygen was cut off from this flame. As you can see, the light's already starting to dim, and as the oxygen is used up inside the container, the light will go out. In the same way, if oxygen was unavailable to your body, your muscles would stop using combustion reaction to produce energy and start producing lactic acid instead.
After our talk with Mr. Zealy, we decided to get a bit more information. After abandoning the books, we went to Dr. McGee.
The interesting biological question is, why would that ever evolve? So you're talking about sea squirts and the urochordates in biology right now. Sea squirts use an oxygen-binding protein that does not use iron, it uses vanadium, one of the rarest minerals on Earth. I don't know how that is possible or why that would be a viable solution for acquiring and distributing oxygen. Now, I don't know if I presume it's not the only oxygen-binding protein that they have, but they use it. So they all work the same. All you simply need is some kind of molecule, it's usually a metal, that can be oxidized and reduced, that can be utilized in a biological form and therefore can transport the oxygen through the body. So you have these mixing components of the metals with the proteins. The proteins are interacting with the biological components in the body. The metals are carrying the oxygens. There are all kinds of oxygen binding proteins out there that probably have evolved numerous times or have evolved down several different lines. What I find interesting is that for some reason the vertebrates have hemoglobin, and other organisms, a number of the invertebrates, utilize different kinds of oxygen binding proteins.
So now that we know what hemoglobin is, a little bit more about how it works, what would the world be like without it?
Well, for humans, the world without hemoglobin is not totally lost. For fluorocarbon emulsion, a synthetic alternative to hemoglobin, is undergoing development. Results look promising, seeing as the fluorocarbons can dispense oxygen to the cells 2 times quicker than natural hemoglobin.
But what about natural adaptations to a world without hemoglobin?
We would have to have body plans that would allow for simple diffusion. And what would those body plans look like? How many cells would be the maximum between the cell and the source of oxygen if you didn't have molecules to carry that oxygen? A handful of cells, max.
Okay.
A handful. I have 5 fingers on the hand. 4 or 5 cells are about the limit to how you can permit efficient diffusion across all this plasma membranes from one cell to the next. So how thick would organisms be on Earth, on average, without, yeah.
Cell layers?
Yeah, how many cell layers thick? Yeah, 3 or 4. It would be about that thick, huh? We'd be a lot of flat organisms floating around in the air or in the water or skittering around on land, wherever you would be able to organize it. That would be an interesting evolutionary trajectory. That's what I think the consequence of not having hemoglobin would just be in the types of body plans that are capable of being supported and therefore passed on through generations.
So if the world didn't have hemoglobin, many organisms like humans, dogs, cats, pretty much anything, probably wouldn't look like it does right now. But even if it didn't have hemoglobin, it wouldn't be totally lost.
Humans would be able to adapt. We might also try some synthetic alternatives such as perfluorocarbon emissions. These look promising, especially since